Get ready to get ready. Coming to you live from the MFG studios in the heart of America's summer golf capital. We help you play better golf. It's time to get your game on and take it deep. This is the Mike Fay Golf Show. Here's your host, Mike Fay.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to America's Summer Golf Capital. My name is Mike Fay. I'm the Director of Player Performance here at the Bowling Golf Academy in Northern Michigan, and we have a panel of esteemed coaches here, and we are so glad you joined us for the evening. And we do this about every Sunday night here, mostly in the off-season, and try to encourage you to have more fun playing golf. So down below me here is Mr. Frank Costella. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing wonderful, Mike. How are you today?
Awesome stuff. Frank, tell them about yourself.
Yes, I'm a PGA Master Professional, and I'm the teaching professional at the St. Clair Golf Club in St. Clair, Michigan, which is located about 45 miles east of the city of Detroit.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for being on, Frank. And right next to him is Mr. Brent Davis. How you doing, Brent?
Great, thanks, Mike. I'm an Australian PGA professional, and I teach out of the PGA Centre for Learning and Performance here at Sandhurst Golf Club in Melbourne.
Awesome. And a new podcast that's coming, right, my friend?
Yeah, coming out soon. Gave you a bit of a sneak peek of the audio. Hopefully it sounds all right.
It sounds fantastic, my friend. And last without least, the national award winner, two-time, in fact, Mr. Jason Helman. How you doing, Jay?
I'm great, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show again. Looking forward to this week's this episode, and looking to see what you got in store. What we got in store for the people?
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. If you guys are tuning in live on Periscope, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be checking in on the comments here and there, and for those of you that will be listening to the replay on iTunes, thanks so much for subscribing and checking in with us, and send us a message if you want to talk about any topics in the future. So first topic is girls high school golf, right, Frank? I wanted to talk about it. Yesterday was the state championship. It was something else out there, right?
Yes, it was.
And
girls had some good weather, and they were able to compete under some good conditions. That's nice to see, especially at this time of the year. And when you think back to last year when they had snow, rain, hail, cold weather, this was a much better year for girls golf.
Yeah, it was pretty good weather for sure. You never know what you're going to get. I remember when I was a kid, it snowed on us at this time of year, and it was pretty good weather for sure. We have Maddie played well. Girl, you coach, right?
Yeah, Maddie finished fourth in Division III. Her team finished sixth overall. She shot 80-80. It's the nice thing about Maddie is she made it states all 4 years and improved her position each and every year. So there's a perfect example of a girl that just got better each and every year. Her as a freshman, she finished 24th in the state. This year she finished fourth. So it's really nice to see, and it's really nice to see the growth of a student like that, not only as a player but as a person as well.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well, I was down at Michigan State with my daughter, and it was quite exciting down there, both on the east and the west course. We started on the east course and watched Petoskey's team, who for the second year in a row run regionals, and went there. Ashley Lamb finished ninth, top 10 finish. Team, I believe, finished 10th, so they played very, very well. Walked across the road and spent some time on the East course and saw some of my players that I coach over there, and they were doing good. And all the while, we were watching the fireworks going on over at Bedford Valley with Division IV between Harbor Springs team and North Christian, and it was amazing. They were back and forth every 3 holes. One team had the lead, one team didn't, back and forth, and finally the North Christian team ended up winning the state championship by about, I believe it was 4 shots in the end. So Harbor Springs, 2-time state champions for the team this year, comes in runner-up, which is pretty fantastic, 3 years in a row. Working on that. Also, Jackie O'Neill She is the individual state champion. She beat Sarah Hepp in the playoff. Pretty cool to say that I had a little bit of influence on both their golf games at some point in my career. So pretty cool stuff there. Very excited in our area to have all the really cool golf going on. Don't you think, Frank? I mean, it's good stuff.
It really is, and we want to continue to see girls golf grow, and I think whatever we can do as PGA professionals to enhance that, we should be doing it. We should be encouraging these girls to continue playing golf, not just in season, but out of season as well. Actually, they have all summer to work on their games to get ready for the fall season, where the boys are just the opposite here in Michigan. That they're coming out of winter and going into spring, and they just don't have the opportunity to get ready unless maybe they're doing some indoor work, or they're taking a spring trip with the parents to go somewhere to play a little bit before. Plus, as you and I both know, Mike, the weather sometimes, especially the last few springs, has just been absolutely terrible. And I mean, there's been times that these kids have only played 2 and 3 matches before they're going into regionals and states. So it's just nice to see golf growing with the juniors. And again, like I said, we as PGA professionals, we should be doing whatever we can to encourage the growth of young people playing golf. I mean, even if we have to do things like, calling their parents and saying, hey, look, I'd like to have your child work with me, or, why don't you come on over to the club or wherever it is you're teaching, and, let me just spend some time with your child to help them improve. Things like that can go a long ways to challenging a player and making a person a better player, just by showing some enthusiasm and some willingness to want to help them.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's how we are. It's on our hands as PGA professionals to do that. There has been a lot of kids that I know of that have tons of talent, and if they spent a little bit more time on that, could be really, really good in the game. Do you guys see that as well, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many sports that kids are playing. I mean, we got hockey up here. We got soccer. It's good that they play all the sports, and then when they finally get to the age where they're going to be sport specific, which is probably around anywhere between 12 and 14, some parents prefer to have their kids go a little bit earlier and be sport specific, and that's fine if they're committed. I don't think it's a bad thing. Obviously, not too young, but because they have to develop athleticism. So, I mean, I try and do that through some of the sport combines that I have in my camps, and fitness components to training as well. It's just important that they stay in the game, and that they want to be in the game. So obviously not pushed or forced into the game. Had 2 good meetings with some families this morning that are jumping on some programs for the winter and into the summer as well. So they're on a 6 and 9 month program. So looking forward to getting started with those 2 kids, and they're sort of overjoyed to have some solid coaching and more of the one-on-one experience versus group coaching.
Yeah, what do you see there, Brent, the participation of the professionals in growing the game of golf?
Yeah, I think it's hugely important for BJ pros to get involved. Obviously, our setup over here is a bit different to you guys. We don't have like the high school golf type competition programs that you guys have, but I think it's really important to get the PJ pros involved with getting kids involved and keeping them involved with the sport. And as you said, Jay, just in being sure that the kid wants to be involved as opposed to being forced to be involved is really important.
It's hugely important. I think one of the big things in our area, and Frank and I talk about it all the time, is the access to golf when it's not in season. And we finally have that now with some indoor facilities at Boyne and around our surrounding area. It's awesome because now these kids can pick up a golf club and learn the game of golf outside of the 3 months that we have where the weather is really good. Don't you think that's important, Frank, that we teach golf outside of just the summer?
Well, I really do, Mike, because it was like you and I were talking about the other day. I have an issue with the high school golf coaches. Predominantly, they're math teachers or history teachers or some kind of teacher, and they're nothing more than chauffeurs to take the kids to matches and back. They really do nothing to promote the game. They really do nothing to help the player get better. Somewhere, some way, someplace along the line, the word has to get out to these kids. There's opportunities. There are indoor facilities. There are PGA professionals that want to teach you and want to help you get better. And I think personally, it's an issue. I look at other high school sports. Okay, I look at the basketball coaches. Most of them played college basketball, or they were really good high school players. Same thing with the football coaches. They have a football background. Why don't the high school golf coaches have golf backgrounds? Why aren't more PGA professionals possibly asking the schools if they could be the golf coach?
That's because basketball's not a recreational sport that everybody plays.
Well, I don't agree with that, Mike. I mean, anybody can play basketball. I mean, I can get 5 guys together and play pickup basketball. I mean, I don't see any difference. I really don't. Baseball coaches, same thing in high school. Most of them have a baseball background. Why don't the golf coaches? Why are the golf coaches somebody that's nothing more than a moderator?
Right.
Just my opinion.
No, it's a great question. It's a fantastic question. There's no doubt they don't have golf backgrounds in professional golf. And, I don't know
how can they teach fundamentals, Mike? A lot of them get kids that have never touched a club in their life. Okay, can they teach them a grip? Can they teach them a stance? Can they teach them posture? Can they teach them motion and movement? No, they can't because they have no background in that.
Right.
If I'm a history teacher, I know history.
Right.
I don't know how to teach golf.
You got it. No, you got it. Absolutely. What do you guys think about that? Brent?
Go ahead, Brent.
So is it because over there? Is it because, as you said, Mike, because everyone's played a bit of golf, do they just don't see golf as the priority in the sport? Isn't the big name sports in the US? So maybe they just go, well, he plays golf socially, so he'll do to be the golf coach.
And that's exactly what I think. Whoever the best golfer is on the faculty staff becomes the coach.
Get a couple days off.
Golf coach, yeah.
Right? And you get some, exactly. And maybe that, I don't know. I don't know why not more PGA professionals aren't at least, coaches or head coaches. We are highly involved in our area between the PGA professional staff, and that's why these kids are winning. But why is it like that all over the place? We should be really highly involved in growing the game of golf in that way, right, Frank? I mean, at least as an advisor or a coach or something for swings and stuff and that.
That's it. I mean, that's what I did at St. Clair for 5 years. I was the swing coach for both the boys and the girls team, and then a new coach came in who was a teacher, and he didn't want me there anymore. So I mean, yes, I wanted to offer the incentive to come out and work with kids and help get them better. But yet, I had, for whatever reason, the new high school coach didn't want me there. He wanted to do things his way, and neither one of his teams did anything this year, boys or girls. And I'm not saying it was me. It's not me. I don't set the lineups. I don't do any of that stuff. But I did go in and encourage the kids to practice. And, our club offers a seasonal membership to any kid on the local golf team for $175. They can play all the golf they want and use the range for nothing. But the coaches aren't even encouraging them to do something like that. It's, I just have an issue.
Right. There's no doubt.
Just as a side note, I'll be applying for a university coach job for next spring.
Awesome.
Good job.
There was a coach there, and then he left, and then 2 coaches came in. One is like 23, I think, and the other one's a little bit older. Has some experience teaching. One's an assistant professional, and I played with one of the teammates, the guys that was on the team, and he had asked him, hey, do you think you could help me with my swing? And he went, I'm hitting a little bit to the right, and he's like, yeah, your face is open, but you're too far gone for me to help you.
Oh, it's nice.
So I'm like, okay, and this is a professional telling him this, and I'm like, and this kid was 21, so he was 2 years younger than the assistant coach or whatever. He's going to be an interim coach, or I don't know what it was. So
wow.
So you passed your peak at 21?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, right. And he hit it good. So when I played with him the other day, and I was like, he hits it pretty solid, and he told me he had one round where he was like, he made 3 doubles in a row, and then he just mailed it in, and then basically quit, and then shot 5 under from the 6th hole in. So he had this sort of carefree attitude. He just has trouble accepting outcomes, right? So, yeah. Which is a lot of people do, but.
Hey Frank, your face is open. You should hang it up and not play any more golf. Okay, your face is open, Frank. Sorry.
Okay, I'll quit.
Yeah, you should quit, Frank.
Too far gone. You're too far gone.
You're gone.
That's my problem. I should have quit 20 years ago.
Yep, your club face is open, Brent. You're done. No, it's too funny.
You're too far gone, Brent.
You're too far gone, buddy.
Hashtag too far gone.
It's definitely, yeah, exactly. Hashtag too far gone. No, there's no doubt that's a serious problem to growing the game of golf with high school coaching, with the game of golf, Frank. And you bring up a very important point that PGA professionals need to figure out how to get in there and try and help these kids play better. And they deserve it. They need a chance at the best shot they can have at getting scholarships and all that kind of stuff, and they can do it if they get the right help. So anyway, our second topic of the night is from the world of NFL, and I think that we're all safe to say the last 2 Detroit Lions football games have been not very good. So what do you think, Frank?
Did the Packers win last week?
No, last week was a disaster.
The Packers, I mean the referees won.
Mm-hmm. The referees won. It was a mess.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad refereeing. I would agree on that. There was 2 bad calls for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty tough watching our Detroit Lions lose to 2 divisional rivals when, personally, I think they had a chance to win both games. But it is what it is, and, we're going to carry on. But it's tough being a Lions fan. Mike will tell you that.
And Mike, shouldn't that flag have been white, like waving the white flag?
It doesn't really matter what color it is at this point, Jake.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter, dude. Nope, it doesn't matter. What I really enjoyed was today's game, seeing in the stands the people with their ref outfits on and the bags over their heads and everything. Yeah, the people in Detroit have had enough, and it's just tough. And then today to go through and lose it in the fourth quarter, that was tough too. So, but
they were just pre-Halloweening, weren't they?
I think they were getting ready to get ready. I've seen some of those pre-Halloweening pictures on Facebook already, where people are showing off what they're going to wear. I just wonder if they're really going to wear it for Halloween or not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's amazing. The Detroit Lions saga continues. It's very, very tough being a Lions fan. But you know what, though? I mean, we are probably the most loyal fan base around.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because of how much pain we've been in throughout the years. And
I'm just happy my boy Drew Brees is coming back soon.
Yes, he is. He had the busted thumb, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was my fantasy football quarterback.
And who'd you sub for him?
The Rams quarterback. Not the Rams, the Clippers quarterback. Phillips, I think. I forget who it is, Mike. But today I played Jacoby Brissett from the Colts, and he got me 43 points, so it was all good.
There you go.
Very nice. That's wonderful. I like that.
Yeah, made a good substitution today.
That's good. Well, speaking of really cool things going on, Brent, I listened to. I got a sneak peek. I won't tell anybody of your new podcast, and it's fantastic, you guys. So, something I've not seen before, a podcast about coaching and not just about golf, about all different stuff. And you guys hit a home run the way in which you interacted during it, and it was really good. There were some really good questions in there. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be definitely sharing when Brent turns this thing on and goes.
Yeah, we'll start getting out there. Had a bit of a crack at the audio, getting it to sound decent. So the feedback's been generally good for the guys I've given a sneak peek to. So it was a good conversation, and yeah, I think it came out all right. So hopefully we'll get a few more recorded in the next couple of weeks, and then we can launch it.
That would be awesome. That's going to be good stuff. And I know now you know some of the work goes behind podcasting, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Fun.
Jay, do you have anything you would like to discuss on the Hot 5 segment, sir?
Not too much. Saw Justin Thomas won by 2 shots down CJ Cup in Korea, South Korea. So that was interesting. And just sorry about he beat Danny Lee by 2. Didn't get his first win, but is he a Kiwi or is he an Aussie? Lee, I saw the flag.
He's a Kiwi.
Is he?
Yeah. We only claim them if they do really, really well.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
I got the small flag in there, kind of looks similar, so I couldn't really see which one it was. But he played well.
So yeah, so we claim Kiwis if they do really well. So Russell Crowe's an Australian if he's doing really well, but if he goes a bit off the boil, he's a Kiwi. That's how it works over here.
That's awesome. I love that.
Right under the bus.
Well, today was probably the last day of really good weather. It was said it was a high of 65 or something, but it certainly didn't feel like that. We've been very cold, and as you saw from the pictures I posted, the trees have turned all completely, and the leaves should be falling off within the next week or so. And my yard is getting covered, so it is over. So winter coaching, as we head into winter, what are some of you guys' top tips to figure out what people should be doing to get ready for the winter? What do you think, Frank?
Well, I think, one, they should get in the gym and start working on their bodies, because this is a great time of the year to strengthen yourself, work on your core, work on your balance, just try to get your body in shape to come out and play. So that's one thing I think players need to do. And the other thing I think they need to do is, like you were talking about earlier, Mike, get to these indoor facilities. You can always hit balls. You can always take lessons. There's a lot of different things that you can do now in the winters to prepare yourself for the spring, so you can hit the ground running when the weather gets better.
Yeah, listen, we've talked about this a lot. The coaching programs or coaching in the winter or off season, wherever you are, you have winter in Australia too, right?
Isn't quite the same.
No, it's not quite the same. It's a little bit cool. It's like, what does it get down to, like 5 degrees or 10 degrees?
Yeah, on a cold day. So you just keep
doing
what you always do.
You have indoor studios. I've seen some of them on Instagram.
They are coming out more and more popular. But obviously, we don't stop per se as you guys do over there. But
right.
But obviously it's colder and the ground's heavier and the ball doesn't go as far. So it's a good time to be able to do those big swing changes and to work on the fitness and to work on that stuff, because obviously our big tournaments are held in the summertime when it's nice and warm. So as you said, Frank, just prepare yourself to be going as soon as the big tournaments start up again.
Yeah, don't you think that the indoor facilities are popping up because of how hot it is in the summertime sometimes there, Brent? More than winter
as well, and obviously where I coach here has got an indoor centre as well as an outdoor range, so we tend to use both, and it can be handy to use the indoor when you get someone who's a bit ball flight obsessed. You can turn off the screen, so they're just hitting into the net and they don't actually see where it's going. It can help sometimes for certain players, so it can be a handy little coaching strategy as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Not knowing where it's going and worrying about what you're supposed to do to get there is Pretty important. You know, Jay, we had touched on it on our last show about your new facility inside one of the golf domes. I remember when I was a kid, my first job ever was to go into a golf dome and pick golf balls and the net way back at the back. And I made a deal with the guy that I would pick balls for an hour or two every night, and certain nights, whatever it was, and I get to hit golf balls there for free. You put in something ingenious, I think. Do you want to tell everybody again what you did over at the Dome?
Sure. Yeah, I put in a studio, and it's powered by the Foresight GC Quad. So we've got some good data. It's the only camera-based unit that's in the launch monitor sort of family. I really like it. It's got some good games on it. There's a fairgrounds module for it, or program for it for the kids, for some of the smaller kids that I teach, sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 years old even. They'll have some fun with it at the end of our session. It's like carnival kind of games, so they can bust the balloons, or there's targets that are moving targets going back and forth that I let them have a shot at. It's really good because they actually focus on aiming, so they're watching the moving targets and they get set up properly, and then they're timing their swing as well. So I've had a couple kids in there doing that. And it's a private studio, so there's no waiting time for waiting for a mat or anything like that. When you're wanting to hit, you just come in and you have your regular time. And sometimes when it's busy, this place is very, very busy. It's probably the busiest facility in Canada. They have an outdoor range in the summer, and they also have the dome in the summer as well. Some people prefer to be inside and not in the sun. It's a little bit hotter inside, but it's unlimited balls inside all summer too, and it's by the bucket outside. So it's at the Markham Golf Dome in Toronto. So I'm looking forward to getting it started. I'll be in there full time next week. Getting some bookings online already from today, and a couple of those families that I met with today are also going to be on board starting up next week. So should be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And having a busy off season, more so than I generally teach. I like to take a little bit of time away, but I'm gonna go pretty hard at it this winter.
Yes, Jay's got it all cranked up, ready to roll. It's gonna be good. For those of you tuning in on LinkedIn, this is our first time that we are broadcasting on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys watch the replay, this is a show. What are we? Episode 29 now. We are cruising along with the MFG Show and our live stream. And we also put it out on iTunes, and you guys will see it all over the world on all the different networks that they provide in, as well as Spotify and TuneIn and all kinds of stuff. But thank you guys so much for joining us, as well as live on YouTube and Periscope. And soon, I guess our feed is down on Facebook. We will put the replay up for those of you guys that want to watch it on the replay. Last week we announced MFG University is open for enrollment. It's our online school of golf with Mike Fay Golf. Pretty cool stuff. There's over 200 golf instruction videos in our library, as well as we'll be having a private group where you'll be able to post your swing and get help from us, as well as all kinds of special features that you'll get for free that others won't. And then we will be having, starting in January, online classes in different aspects of the game of golf, which is pretty cool as well. Those will be free to any yearly members, and then also there'll be a monthly membership as well for enrollments there. So those that take advantage of the yearly membership, as of right now, if you go in and you sign up for a yearly membership and you type in the coupon code MFG Show 2019, you'll get 50% off the yearly fee until the end of 2019. So excited about being able to give you guys that opportunity to sign up and enroll in the university. Pretty cool stuff. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, I think I hope that we get a lot of interest in MFG University, because there is a lot of good information on there, and I think it's something that you can access 24/7. So you know, if you can't sleep at night, you can always get on there and work on your golf swing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's a lot of stuff in there that nobody really talks about. There's some high-tech stuff on there with TrackMan and gears and all kinds of stuff. Some of it we have previewed on different social media. So a lot of it you guys have never seen before. So pretty excited about that. So anyway, do we have anything else to discuss this evening, gents?
I'll just quickly jump in there, and we have our Australian Trainee Championships on this week in Ballarat Golf Club. So have 100 odd trainees teeing it up in their Australian Championships. So it should be nice to see how they go. There's some good players. Our 15 top trainees average under par for the year. So we'll see how they go out at Ballarat. And there's also a couple of internationals. So the British trainee champion gets invited, and as does the South African champion. So they're over here, and they'll take on the Aussies. So that's if you want to check out the scores, pga.org.au, and you'll find the scores on there. And hopefully an Australian brings home the title. The English guy took it home last year, so hopefully an Australian brings it home this year.
Very, very cool. What else? Jay, do you want to say something?
No, is that men's and women's both?
It is. So there is the female trainees play as well. So they play the same course off the ladies' tees. So I think it's only one of a couple of tournaments in the world that have guys and girls competing on the same course in the same event.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, gents, if we don't have anything else, we'll sign off. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Tavosi Optics and Hack Motion, our new one that we announced last week. We'll be sending out some new videos with Hack Motion coming out soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a super night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
You bet.